Good morning and welcome to episode 1205 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us today. Mark's got sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and much more in the cup of coffee in the big time.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like a fun cup.
You better believe it. Get you through this Tuesday real easy.
Mark just put a video up, and all I can see is the thumbnail, and it's just two voluptuous breasts.
Oh, buddy.
Like that. Oh, yeah. Now I see.
That must be the sex clip.
That's part of the sex clip.
Well, now we're all distracted a little bit.
I can play it a few times. No audio on that. We just play it on loop.
Play it right now, why don't you?
Want to play it right now?
Be good. I mean, if you're a video viewer, you're gonna want to stick around for that.
Play it right now.
Yeah, okay, here it is.
Play it right now. Yeah.
Whoa,
chick showing off her boobs.
All
right.
Is that a vein in her tits?
I mean, it's
You see the right?
I think that's a shadow, right?
Probably a scar. Probably a scar from a surgery.
I don't care.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
I never cared about veins or scars.
Did you
on
see
tits.
them moving?
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Jiggled pretty.
Who cares?
Nicely.
Who cares?
Yeah. Look like a Bill Cosby Jello commercial.
What am I lining the vein of my cock up next to it and comparing?
Who cares?
Yeah.
I've got a lesson in drug dealing on deck, which will be. I mean, it's a lot. It's more drugs, but a lesson for somebody who's done it wrong. And Wes has a feel-good story about when being fat saves the day to bat us around the bases today.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, it is technically a feel-good story. I guess you could say that,
right?
But it is when fat saves the day. So, one of the few times.
Yeah. I don't know how I'll feel at the end of that one, but I'm going to label it a feel-good story at the top.
Okay. I think you're not going to like it.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's so embarrassing that they're fat that they get away with doing something. Yeah.
I'm excited. I saw the headline and I'm excited.
Can't arrest him. He's too fat. Can't fit the cuffs around him or put him in a cell. He's too fat. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark, your wife have a good birthday?
She did, but we had a bad weekend. I'll get to that. To the bad news that happened to us. It relates to one of my stories. So
oh no. Okay.
Yeah. We were wronged. We were wronged, Will. But how have you guys been?
I know. I have a little foreshadow, but the audience will find out. You were wronged.
We were wronged big time, but we'll get to that. Karma owes us one. We've been doing good deeds, but we got wronged. But let's get into the news, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
First up, the joke of the day. And this is from Garrett from Iowa. OG Garrett. What does a robot do after sex?
Oh. Gives you it ejects whatever fluid it got in it.
Think about hit it and quit it. Think about hit it and quit it.
Itself.
Nuts and bolts. He nuts and bolts. Hit it and quit it. Smash.
There you go. Nuts
smash
and bolts.
Then dash. And I
what is it? But what is it? Nut. What is a robot nut?
Oil or something like.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ones and zeros.
Gross, man. You don't want a robot coming.
The algorithm. Yeah. No, I brought that joke up, which is a good joke because it goes with the theme of sex, which is the first two stories we'll talk about. Ladies, listen up because I got a couple of women who are out here just throwing out life sex hacks for you if you need them. I mean, you probably don't because you're women. But 34.
We went over the Mark. Did you see that we went over the fruit roll up pack?
Yeah, and that's like a blowjob thing, right?
DJs. Well, and Wes's finger too. But yeah, I mean,
did you ever do that?
No, but I mean, there's time.
Yeah, there's still time.
I mean, there's time, right?
Yeah, they still sell them.
I mean, they still sell them, and I still.
This time I bought a pack last night. So
yeah,
there's plenty of time. Sorry, that's an aside, Mark. I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
No, it's totally. It's a good to bring up.
It's another hack, another sex hack.
Exactly, that was one for the fellas. These are for the ladies. 34-year-old OnlyFans star and former Playboy playmate Kayla Caden has a hack for that rack. She said she injects salt water directly into her breasts. And then for the next 24 hours, she has giant boobs that are, quote, 1,000 times better than breast implants, something that she is intimately familiar with. So get a load of it. This is her with the saline injections. We already saw it, but boom, they look like this. She fills them up, and then they go boing, 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 boing.
She does this herself.
Boing. She gets like a doctor injector with like it's super quick and easy. I think she's
salt water.
Yeah.
How long is that good for?
24 hours. It's just like it's like Cinderella, or like, you know, like it's just real quick.
It's like doing push-ups for the beach.
It's like Dark Man, the mask that wears off, or like the Mission Impossible mask that you only have like a certain amount of time and then the mask dissolves.
Or like
that,
painting a six-pack on.
Yeah,
like drawing it on your abs.
Right, but like if you're up close to them, there's still huge boobs for 24 hours. Unlike
That's true. These are much more real.
These are real. And she says better than the
nobody can tell.
No, who cares, right? Like you said earlier, who cares? And that's what you saw. The vein was a scar because back when she was only 19, Kaden got size E boob implants. They're a little too
like
big.
A bit overkill, right? Yeah,
they're a little too big. They started hurting her back, and then they were going to expire, so she decided to reduce them. And then she went all the way from E's to C's, and that was messing with her head because she was like, "Now I'm depressed." Yeah, it's a big jump. So she's all depressed. She was healthier, but she was depressed. So she started talking to her surgeon, and he goes, "Hey, have you heard of the new FDA-approved saltwater solution called the InstaBreast?" She was like, "InstaBreasts? Let's do it."
This is amazing.
And the rest is history. Yeah, this is incredible news.
Wait,
anyone can do it.
So it's like instant grits where she has to cook them every morning. So she has to like.
Well, no, I mean, if she just doesn't do them every day, then she has smaller boobs. But this is like if she wants to go on a night on the town or impress,
like your wedding.
Your wedding, yeah. These are just for 24-hour periods where you go out to the bars, you go to your wedding, you want to take pictures in a bikini, go to the beach.
The procedure has to take like 5 minutes, right?
It's super quick. Oh, and it works within 5 minutes. It's done. Okay. And 2 injections, you're done, and you're out. You got huge boobs for 24 hours.
It's fun. It's a fun weekend.
It's like superpowers for 24 hours.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you do this with your cock for 24 hours?
Of course I would. Yeah.
Well, isn't that just a penis pump? I've never tried one of those, but isn't that?
I don't know if they work.
Those last for 24 hours.
I don't know if they work as good as this.
It's like for like 20 minutes, but yeah, it's like
because these get your breasts up to 5 times their normal size. So she like, I mean,
that's like being a celebrity for a day.
It is. It's incredible, is what it is. And it was invented by a New York City cosmetic surgeon and an absolute hero, Dr. Norman Rowe. Get that guy a statue, or I hope he's not paying taxes. The inflation job works in just seconds, and he compares it to like inflating a water balloon in the faucet. It's just
that's amazing.
And that's it. And then the water just goes into you. The salt water is just like, whoosh,
and then it dissolves on its own. No problems. No scars. No. Women can just have huge boobs for 24 hours.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's the perfect product.
You guys like the InstaBreasts?
Yeah, of course.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
Back problems. Wow.
So it's a huge hack for women. Like it wasn't easy enough for them to get.
That's like a birthday present, like, hey,
yeah.
How about for my birthday, you go on down to the dock and get some InstaBreast for them.
That's right.
Yeah.
I absolutely. It's
the
a great
problem is
birthday
that
present.
guys are going to be getting InstaBreast
for you.
For birthday
present for you too. Yeah.
And so that's going to get some people into trouble.
Oh, I got
Halloween.
A gift certificate to the InstaBreast store. You're welcome.
I got you a 20 punch card.
Buddy, prepaid for 100 of them.
Yeah. I noticed you might want these, so here you go. It's
now that's Caden. Okay, so great job, Caden. Thanks for letting us be aware of that and stuff. If you want to come on the show and chat about it, no problem. But if you want to get a little more drastic with things, ladies, you could go the route of total freak Teresa Fisher. Can you guys describe Teresa?
Whoa, long legs. Like
what do you think?
spider.
Yeah. What do you think Teresa did to herself?
Extended those femurs. Wow.
That's it. That's it. Well,
holy shit, dude. How long are those femurs?
Look at the size. I thought that was photoshopped, but apparently it's not. Yeah, I mean, her legs are
horror movie.
So she got dwarf. She got the things
enormous.
She got like what dwarves get, like a femur, like the leg extensions. But she's just already had long legs. Obviously,
she did. She was mostly legs to begin with.
Yeah.
So she was a star of Germany's Big Brother, so she was already kind of famous, and she spent over $160,000 on 2 extremely invasive surgeries and then the follow-up pain medication to lengthen her legs by 6 inches. She was 5'6". She's now 6 foot tall, barefoot, and 90% legs.
Well, you can barely tell, Mark. I gotta say, you know that scars healed up without any marks at all, and it's not.
I mean,
like,
how is this not Photoshop?
The legs are abnormally shaped in the stretch parts.
Stilts.
If she's riding you, her knees are like up by your ears.
Oh, she can wrap her legs around you.
She can definitely lock.
Like
you,
she can
lock
you in like a spider that's got its prey in the web, like a fly. She can just wrap those legs around you.
It's a wrap
and that's what she said. She said it's actually just absolutely increased her sex drive and sex life and confidence. It's her modeling career is taken off because she's walking down the runway in hilariously long legs. She's banging a lot more dudes and she's wrapping her legs around them, and she loves it. Now it is not like the saline water injection instant boobs. It's a little bit more invasive. She had a several month recovery time as they cracked her femurs, like Will said. They just broke her femurs, applied like
this is what dwarves do.
Right.
I think that's a picture of her shins, but they did it to both
limb length.
Well, they had to break her femurs to get in, and then they apply the rods into the shins, the tibia or whatever, and then they crank it. Slowly they crank it to stretch.
Very painful.
Yeah, it's like a several month process. So they break your largest bones in your leg, they insert these rods in your shins, and then they slowly crank you, making you taller. It's insane. And she did it twice. And
I mean,
now,
she looks like a freak. I mean, it's not sexy.
Now, as ZZ Top said, she's got legs and she knows how to use them. You know?
I'm happy that she says it gives her a confidence boost, but I'm with Wes. I would have preferred her the natural version of her.
5'6". I mean,
she was already
above normal height. Right?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's for sure. Here she is in a bathtub, just not fitting in it. But
okay.
I mean, that's a better picture.
It's a little more appealing.
Way better picture.
It's a little more appealing, right?
Okay, but she has stuff like
bondage that she's wearing.
But look at where her like pelvic area is and up, and then her legs. She's at least 75% legs.
She's got the scars covered there, Wes. You see, that's why you like it more, because she's got like straps over top of all those.
Yeah, I like the bondage stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's got me to thinking she can go as a person in stilts for every Halloween. Just looks like it. Also, she kind of looks like 3 kids in a trench coat.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
If she wore a big trench coat, they could be like, how many people are in that trench coat? Yeah.
Second little set of arms on a trench coat, like sew some in.
Yeah, exactly. If she wore a trench coat and she had fake arms coming out of it, little arms, so it would look like kids in a trench coat. Some ideas for her for Halloween.
She's gonna make so much money because she has the longest legs in the world now, probably. And she's the only person she's gotten ahead of the game. So now this will probably become a thing. But for the next at least 6 months,
anyone that likes legs in Germany, those 6 sex fetish fucks are all over this lady.
Yeah. OnlyFans.
Well, the photographers
soon.
Yeah. I mean, well, for sure for the fetishes, but also like if she gets modeling deals, they'll definitely have to Photoshop, because it's like the musculature on the stretch parts is you can notice it's stretched. Like,
oh yeah, dude. Look at her, dude. You can notice something's wrong.
Yeah,
immediately something is so wrong. Yeah,
right. Something's like been unnaturally changed about that.
If her top half was the same as her bottom half, should be 7'3".
She looks like a Star Wars character.
Yeah, she does look like a Star Wars character. She went too far. She didn't need the 6 inches. She already had mostly legs, it looks like. Anyways, that's some sex life hacks for the ladies. It's not like if you're hard up for hard-ons or whatever, you're welcome. The boobs, the legs, whatever.
Dude, InstaBoobs is like one of the biggest scientific advancements of our lives.
Yeah. Do you think, what if we did for content, we should do our own Insta? Yeah.
Is it going to stretch you out?
I don't know.
No.
If that could be a merch goal. Our next merchathon, we should have an InstaBreast as a
I got the Hogan before that. I'll do it the Hogan as opposed to the Insta.
It would be a top dollar item. Let's move on to a guy that would definitely never get laid if it weren't for the fact that he had over $100 billion. Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Yeah, he's a weird looking guy.
Remember this?
He also looks like a Star Wars character.
He does. I like her
remarkable
legs.
looking folks we're talking about today.
She's got nice legs. Zuck has gotten into jiu-jitsu over the past few years, I guess, and he finally entered a tournament. And guess what? He won the jiu-jitsu tournament.
Oh, how about that?
I saw this headline, Mark. And did you see if he won and everybody competed hard, or was it like like at the Facebook campus, he won a tournament?
That's exactly the question I have. Will, it was a real tournament. I guess he started practicing during COVID-19. He was going to submit the COVID virus if given the chance. But his first tournament was this weekend in Redwood City, California. He was competing both in a gi and outside of a gi in 2 separate tournaments. He got a gold in one and a silver in the other, so he got first place in one and second in the other. And that is my question: do you think it was weak competition, or people didn't want to hurt a billionaire?
California is a huge jiu-jitsu state, from what I know.
He got a lot of tweets from like Israel Asdiana and Volk, like the top MMA guys were tweeting him and being like, "Congratulations again!" Probably just blowing smoke up a billionaire's asshole.
I was gonna say, I think that just means there was one person with the balls to beat him in that one gold silver match.
Yeah, there was one. He reminds me of, I told a story about that DJ, that radio guy that used to be in Austin. I did the dodgeball tournament for him, and he
Bobby Bones.
Bobby Bones. Well, he rigged the tournament and he refused to lose because there was a scene where someone caught him on video like arguing with the ref, and like he screamed at the ref, and then like something was reversed in his favor. So it does seem like maybe he probably
I'm giving everything to Zuckerberg. Yeah, I'm trying to butter him up the whole way. I mean, everybody's trying to give Zuckerberg a nice experience at the jiu-jitsu tournament, I would imagine.
And he got it. That's what he got.
Unless he greased me up, I wouldn't.
Well, if you need a job,
but he does train a lot, so I don't want to take it away. I mean,
it is somewhat impressive. Really, look, we got to give him some credit, even if he greased the wheels. Now, I also throwing this out there. Maybe he has superhuman, otherworldly, alien strength because he might be an alien, because this is the full clip of him trying to drink water. He doesn't know what water in a glass is. It's probably like,
or robot. He could have enhanced himself.
Right. He's either an alien or a robot or both.
Which we've covered. The aliens could definitely be AI. So just think about that.
So here we go. Here's one that's relevant to me, since my landlord called me this weekend to tell me that after 8 years of me paying him close to $200,000 on time every month for 8 years straight, and saying things in the past like, "Hey, Mark, you and your wife can stay here as long as you want, and I hope you do. And if you do move, please give me a several month notice, and don't do it in the summer because I'm old as fuck and don't want to work on the house in the summer to get ready for the next tenants." He called me this weekend on my wife's birthday weekend and said, "I'm throwing you out by July 1st because my son is living with his mother and they can't stand each other, and he can't find a place to live he can't afford it. So they're driving each other nuts and calling to tell me that the kid needs a place to live and that he wants to live in the house you're living in, Mark. So I'm going to throw you out for my son. Sorry, he's a failure to launch, but you're out."
You got
That's how the cookie crumbles, Mark.
Yeah. Second
Sincerely,
marriage kid.
Your landlord.
He's like 78. This kid's like 25. Getting kicked to the curb right after taxes. Wasn't expecting that expense and task. But hey, new journeys, right? What a fucking piece of shit my landlord is. Anyways, I bring that up because I want your sympathy. Do want that. And it somewhat relates to this next story where a coyote snuck into a Woodland Hills home in California overnight this weekend via their doggy door and almost killed everyone and everything in the house this weekend. And doggy door is on my list. I've been looking at houses. Wes's girl has taken me and my wife out. We're going out tomorrow to look at houses. Got to get out soon, but doggy door is now off the list because they have them in Austin too. So doggy door, no more. My internet hasn't been playing great, but here's a video.
You don't want a doggy door anymore.
No, because look, if this video works, it shows this coyote just broke into a house at 4 a.m.
Watch as this coyote prowls around this Woodland Hills home. Mia Shushan declined to speak on camera, but told us the coyote got in through the doggy door around 4 a.m. Friday.
Is that a cat running?
A few seconds pass. All of a sudden, the coyote comes face to face with the house cat. The cat hides under the table. The coyote jumps back. Shushan says her brother heard that cat meowing and screaming. As he ran into the room, the coyote darted out, leaving the way he came in, through the doggy door. No one was hurt, but it's another reminder that coyote sightings are becoming more common.
Look at this.
Not too far away from Shushan's home, last December, a 2-year-old Woodland Hills girl was attacked and dragged by a coyote in broad daylight.
She's doing good. She's doing good, thank God. We had a rough few months.
Nearby their home is Shoot Park, where there's now even more signage.
She couldn't sleep for like 3 months, but she's doing pretty good.
Yeah, and your house is like a smorgasbord for coyotes.
Yeah, I know. So no doggy door for me.
They keep getting closer and closer in on like pretty much all cities. So
you can hear them across from Kate's house. Like there's woods over there. All like at night, you go out there, they're just cackling all night.
Oh,
it's crazy.
yeah. So
I feel like the ones in Texas, at least the ones that I had seen were relatively small. I've seen some massive ones out here further west in Reno. But,
and California, I mean,
yeah, they have mountain lions over there. So like it up in the mountains. So
they got foods. Yeah. So, the moral of the story is there's a lot in California, there's a lot in the West and even Austin. So, be careful about coyotes and also lying landlords who will go back on their verbal agreement and toss you right onto the street. Been on a handshake deal with this guy for 6 years. No paperwork after the first 2-year lease. You planning on paying me any of the moving expenses, you cocksucker?
He's not going to. I'm so sorry, Mark. That's terrible.
I already had to cancel a short beach vacation I had prepaid for in June to get that money back for the move.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Hey, maybe my sweet beagle honey will get to see the beach for the first time next year.
That's terrible.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Now, hopefully this year. Stephen C brings up a good point. He sees coyotes in the yard in the morning, and he has a dog door, and so I think that's the way it is. A lot of at least because like we see coyotes all the time in Reno too, and dog door still got it. Not going to get rid of it.
Apparently, you can get one that just opens
sticking to
a collar.
That's the only one you can do. Or you can get one.
Ooh,
you can get one that locks too, like and make sure the pets are in at night, and you can lock it. But you don't want to have the evergreen dog doors.
You can slide a thing in to block stuff at night.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can lock it at night.
Yeah, you gonna remember to do that every night though? No.
And what if your pet's outside?
Well, plus like a cat, dude. Yeah. Like if you have a cat, which I do, because a cat,
then you gotta wait for the cat to get inside. Yeah,
dude, the cat is never gonna use it during the day. He uses it mostly at night.
Right,
so.
You're like up till 3 a.m.
It's just him versus the coyotes out there. So it's up to him to keep the coyotes enough away from the door that he doesn't get attacked inside. So if he's gonna be out at night, because that's when the coyotes are out there.
Yep. Okay, that takes us to
the cream of the crop.
And today's top story is of a man in Canada who was just trying to help out. And you know what they say? No good deed goes unpunished. Right?
It's true.
Right? Like paying your rent on time.
That's what I say around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Being a very loyal and reliable tenant. I mean,
yeah, exactly. No good deed. Jerry Martin, seen here. Is a Vancouver Canadian man who recently opened a pharmacy to sell Canadians drugs, hard drugs. Did you see what the sign said?
Yeah, he looked like a drug dealer.
Yeah, it's a menu with amounts and prices grouped out by drug. First listed is cocaine. Below that is crack cocaine, then heroin, then methamphetamines. Then we don't see what's at the bottom, but he's got.
Why do you have to buy it with? Oh no, you get points from his program. Okay, so
he's got a program.
Okay, so 1 gram of heroin is $200. Oh no. Oh, I see. Yeah, wait. Oh, no, points.
I think a point is a measurement of.
Those are measurements. Those are like tiny scoops.
That's like street. Right. It's like street.
He's got a measurement price. Yeah.
Like a heroin. So he's got like a point of heroin's like a hit.
Right. Points, which is like a line of Coke or something, and then like a gram, which is obviously.
He had a one-stop shop. Did you see? What does he sell? Booze and porns too? Does he have what's going on there?
Does he give boob injections?
Right. Does he have the InstaBreast program? Was it next to a tattoo parlor? And if in the U.S. a gun shop? I mean, that place.
He may as well expand. You know, since he's offering.
They're not going to let him. Well, unfortunately, now Jerry said he opened the shop because he's sick of fentanyl killing people, like his brother-in-law last year, and. He was making sure his drugs had no fentanyl in them and that drug guys and gals could have a safe place to buy hard drugs. So, hey, sounds good to me, Jerry, right?
Yeah. He was charging a lot for those drugs, but
peace of mind is.
Yeah. I mean, uncut cocaine is what is that?
Crack cocaine, awesome. Probably cheaper. And if you remember, a few pharmacies in Canada we covered claimed that they were granted the ability to sell hard drugs by Canada, although it was news to Trudeau. Like he was like, what?
Right, because this was like the legal gray area, right? So
they claimed they had like some deal with Canada, but those were companies that had contracts with the state, like I just mentioned, and not some guy named Jerry. And they also may have been lying. Regardless, Jerry's shop got shut down 24 hours after opening, and he was arrested for drug trafficking out of a mobile trailer park. Turns out they'd been casing his mobile home for months that he'd been selling drugs out of before he opened the shop. And then
you got to admire his gusto, though. He's like, I'm already dealing these drugs, so I might as well just go legit, you know?
Right. They were gonna arrest him at the mobile trailer park, and then they could not believe their luck when he tattled on himself by opening a store with a sign outside that said what he was selling.
I'm just trying to follow the law, officers. Hey,
yeah. I mean,
you
he's
made
a dummy,
it. You made the law.
I mean, he's right. They should be handing out either test strips to people or you know, something like this.
I agree. I mean,
look, I hope that he gets a good lawyer.
Right. I mean, it's a shame, but it's also, you know, illegal. So he probably should have kept it a little bit more quiet. Jerry told the news that he planned on getting arrested at some point. Maybe not now, but it's okay.
Is it illegal though? Okay. When they kind of okay, I guess because it has to be
not yet.
Well, companies or whatever.
Not yet. We don't. That's a great. We don't know what's going on with those two companies yet. So he jumped the gun.
I've only had like, you know,
worth a try
in the, you know, maybe like, I don't know how many times I've done coke, but I've only had like really good coke a number of times. And if I could get like uncut, like primo coke, I might, there would have been a problem. You know what I mean? Like, like that it's great that he's providing this service, but uncut cocaine is something to behold. And it is a completely different drug than the shit that you normally get from your dealer.
He guaranteeing that because he's getting
Jerry's
it from
stuff's the best?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know that about Jerry. He's in a trailer park.
Right.
Well, yeah, but he's had some bump-ins with the law before, Will.
And they said his stuff is good.
Yeah. He wants to launch a constitutional challenge arguing that he's creating a toxic they're creating a toxic drug supply that's killing Canadians by not letting shops like his be open. Right. And it's not his first arrest for drug trafficking, but one thing's for sure. If you want drugs in Vancouver and Jerry's not in jail, he's your man, right? I definitely took note of his information, first and last name and location, just in case.
Okay, he's taking a trip up there.
Yeah, I know what he looks like.
You saw the shop signs. I'm sure he still keeps them inside, even though he's been busted. What's Canadian jail like? I mean, is Jerry just going to be back out dealing?
Probably okay. Yeah, probably not so bad. Yeah. They probably read a lot and watch TV and
so I mean, kind of like worth it, right? He's trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to push the envelope on these new laws. He's struck a little early.
He's been 10 years in the United States. He's like, minimum
easily
10 years.
NHL playoff season, they probably have the group watches it. In jail. Yeah. Anyways, Jerry, we're behind you. Just no fentanyl. Anyone that says no fentanyl is okay with us. And that's today's cup of coffee.
That's true.
Which was brought to you by Shady Rays, right?
Not anyone, but close.
We're better than fentanyl. Like if you're gonna do it,
if
you're gonna do it,
but you can't just say that and then we give you a pass for everything.
That's I mean, it still can kill you. It still can kill you, that stuff. But
you can't just say that one thing and then you're.
It's the lesser. It's a shady biz, but it's the best you can do as a shady business owner. Make sure there's no fentanyl in there, right? Like that's the least you can do, right?
No, that's pretty stand up for a drug dealer.
Yeah. I mean, my landlord probably would not do that step.
It's like the whores in Costa Rica that have a card that they carry around that says they don't have.
I've been tested. Yeah.
That card is. I mean, they just printed that, man. But they did not. That is not.
But when you're in the mood, Will, that card is word. That card is the word.
That's right.
That is what you want.
That's all you need to see.
She had a card.
You wanted to see. Doc? Say less, whore. Anyways, Shady Rays. Back to Shady Rays. What's worse than buying a pair of expensive sunglasses and losing them right after you get them? Breaking them.
Yeah.
Look, neither of those are for me. Okay, not since I got Shady Rays. Shady Rays makes high quality sunglasses that are just as good, or in my opinion, even better than expensive ones. I can't wear this around my landlord and ask for money because it looks like I'm a fucking millionaire in this outfit. Shady Rays are a fraction of the price, though, is the thing of those expensive sunglasses. Shady Rays are durable, built to tackle all of life's outdoor adventures. Their styles are timeless and on point. Look at all these different styles we're showing you. Put them on, Wes.
Oh my God.
Wes got the ones with
these are the
red, white,
Patriot.
The red, white, and blue what is that? The frames,
turtle shell.
Very nice, very nice.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah,
I got the aviators, but they're not called aviators. They're called something similar to aviators. They're awesome.
I got the blackouts.
Yeah.
It's the classic.
I got 3 pairs. Is what I got. Speaking of strong, here's why I don't worry about like losing or breaking them. At my Shady Rays, I don't ever worry about that because every pair of Shady Rays is backed by their industry-leading lost and broken replacements program. Break or lose your pair the second you take them out of the box. They'll send you a replacement pair, no questions asked. Shady Rays isn't happy unless you're happy. That's why they give you 30 days to try them, and if you don't like them, you can exchange or return them for free. With every order, the Shady Rays Impact Program works with nonprofits worldwide to make an impact on the lives of children and young adults, like building play sets for pediatric cancer patients and creating adventures for young adults with cancer and MS. You guys,
hey, congratulations, guys, for us all helping with that by our Shady Rays purchase. You know,
yeah, huge.
You can feel good about that. You and Shady Rays are making an impact together. Look, they're the best. They are the best. Best quality. They look great. They're doing all these good things. Fraction of the price of the big boys. They're ripping you off. What's better than getting 1 pair of Shady Rays not wearing if you break or lose them? How about getting 2? Go to shadyrays.com/hardfactor and use code hardfactor for a limited time. When you buy 1 pair of Shady Rays, you'll get a second pair free. That's SHADYRAYS.com/hardfactor, code hardfactor to get a second pair of Shady Rays.
It's significantly better than getting 1 pair.
It is. It's double as good.
Second pair for free. Wow. It's pretty good. All right. You guys ready to move on to the next one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's called the 3 Weed Commandments. And it's simpler than the 10 Crack Commandments because, you know, weed, there's like fewer guns and murders. It's just like, you know, hippies with mustaches and stuff. And so it's just 3 rules. It's number 1, legalize it. Number 2, regulate it. And then number 3, profit off it. Okay. It's just that simple. Just 3 steps. And surprisingly, these 3 weed commandments work whether it's legal in your area or not. On a personal level, just 1, legalize it to yourself wherever you are. 2, regulate your contacts to make sure they're not narcs and are consistent or reliable buyers. And then 3, profit or smoke for free. Your call, whatever you want to do. That's the classic 1, 2, 3 weed commandments of people who smoke for free. Or if you're a government, same thing. 1, legalize it. 2, regulate and make some tax rules that you're going to get, you know, a significant piece of an easy to use legal cannabis market while also freezing out the competition. So make a few laws to do that. And then 3, profit massively, right? Through 2022, the 20-ish, I think it's now 23 total, but through 2022, the 20-ish U.S. states with legal adult sales markets have brought in over $15 billion in tax revenue combined from legal marijuana sales since 2014. And that's a lot of money for schools, streets, and whatever else the government, you know, is going to spend it on. So you can see it works great when it's applied correctly in places like Colorado, Nevada, allegedly Canada, some other places. So it can be good for the community, right? Even if, say what you want about the smoking itself, but for the tax dollars, it can be demonstrably good for local communities, right?
Absolutely.
Right. But when you don't follow the 3 weed commandments, you won't ever get to step number 3. That's what I got to warn you. So you may recall we covered how Thailand legalized adult, medical, and recreational use marijuana back in June 2022. It's the same month as those satanic murders in Nigeria. So remember that one? June 20. Thailand legalized marijuana, June 2022.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's nice. That's nice.
We covered it on the show. I think we covered the satanic murders in Nigeria too. But anyways, but we also reported at the same time that they never legalized a regulation plan after legalizing marijuana, because they just said, okay, now it's legal to recreationally or medicinally use marijuana if you're an adult, but they never made a law, never regulated.
You have to do it at a shop, and it's taxed this much, and so it's just the cartel in there.
It's a legal gray area,
okay.
And so it's like they can bust you if they want to, but they mostly don't, because it's like legal if you have a small amount on you. So, but if you skip commandment number 2 in the 3 weed commandments, regulate, you will never get to commandment number 3 of profit. And that's because Thailand's weed growing competitors over here in North America can grow it and ship it stronger and cheaper than anything that they can produce over in Thailand locally. And so like they couldn't scale up for the competition. They just had all this flood of, external weed flooding in. So ipso facto, Thailand themselves got regulated because they refused to do the regulating on their own.
Regulators, mount up.
Yeah.
What happened?
With North American weed. Don't take it from me, though. Here's straight from Al Jazeera about how the regulators mounted up in the vacuum of Thai regulations on cannabis. They say local businesses say foreign money is filling the gap, with many dispensaries across the country pushing low-cost cannabis imported illegally from the U.S., probably Canada and the Netherlands as well. A decent locally grown strain goes for 300 baht, so $9 per gram. But imports are only 150 to 180 baht, so 450 to 530 per gram, says Priyaja Aruk Ek, a cannabis entrepreneur with several licensed dispensaries in Bangkok. And then he says, at the end of the day, my customers care more about the potency of the THC rather than the origin of the weed. So basically,
makes sense.
Thailand fucked themselves because they didn't make any rules. They just legalized, made no rules, opened their weed market, let any motherfucker with a weed plant come in and sell it, and then they fuck themselves because now they don't make it. They don't make much of the revenue that their $1.2 billion industry is making. So one Thai grower, speaking anonymously, claims that the government corruption is to blame. He says that the agriculture department and other government entities are reaping the profits of these strong, cheap imported weed, mostly from North America, the USA, and Canada, and that new Thai growers who just started in 2022 simply can't compete because they had no notice to scale up. They didn't know that they're going to need all these grow operations and all that stuff. So Thailand is only reaping
support local,
portion. Right? And but their weed's not as good. Their weed's not as good.
When it comes, it's unfortunate. If you want to get high, you gotta.
Their industry has only existed since June 2022. They've already brought in $1.2 billion US in revenue in 10 months alone. But the thing is that they can't make as good a weed as US, Canadian, or Dutch growers.
Well, why is that? Their land has got to be conducive to. It's got to be perfect for growing.
They can also build greenhouses anywhere.
Skill and scale. Like they don't have the operation set up.
Expats need to go over there and get some shit set up.
But they wouldn't have their factories that they already have. Like they have giant grow houses, giant grow operations here. That they don't have over in Thailand because it just got legalized last year. And sadly, the opposition party may delete the legalization of weed in Thailand altogether. Anyways, if they win elections on May 14th, but hopefully they won't. And hopefully Thailand can finally pass their cannabis regulation bill so that they can finally begin
do that.
Regulating that 1.2 billion in weed revenue.
Only 10% of the weed can be imported.
Right. I mean, you figure that they could at least do a little bit of regulation.
Regulators, mount up.
Yeah. So you can't skip regulate or you'll never get to profit in the weed game. And that's the 3 weed commandments. But you may want to follow the other ones too, not the weed commandments, just the generic ones, because this is what one wife did. She's a weed wife to her grower husband recently after she caught him cheating. She chopped down 6 of his grow houses. Check this out.
What a bitch.
She's going to town. She's like the Grim Reaper.
You sure she's not just harvesting?
No care is being taken. She's just she's taking them out. Well, this is what the internet claims.
Thai women are vicious, bro.
The internet claims that she's doing this as revenge.
She's too much of a pro. She's done
those
this before.
Plants, Wes, are definitely not.
He's pissed her off.
Ready to harvest. So definitely not harvesting.
He's pissed her off before Wes.
Yeah.
This is no. She knew exactly what she was gonna do.
Get my pissed off tool.
In fact, Wes, I mean, those plants were probably about to start getting buds and stuff, and just about to be so profitable for that dude, and then she just destroyed.
Make some shitty weed with that stuff.
Oh my god! Look at how many she's destroying. No, someone stop her.
It's 6 of those apparently. Yeah.
6 houses like that.
Yeah,
she's still alive.
What did that guy do? Yeah, what did he do to her?
He cheated. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, guys. It's always been true. No amount of weed is going to calm her down. I guess they make those commandments, for a reason. So you guys
cheat on her with her sister. I mean, I get like 2 or 3 grow houses with 6.
You don't want to mess with the commandments.
Yeah, he was gonna. There goes her money when they get divorced because that was a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's pretty stupid of her, actually.
She's too passionate.
Yeah, she was.
That's why he loves her, though.
That's why that's the rub with her is you get.
She wasn't thinking.
You got a passionate woman, but if you're scoring her, then it's tough. Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
Thai, I mean, like, it's not that surprising to me that Thailand would just like, I mean, I guess a lot of U.S. states have done this too, right? Like Virginia is now going to go back, like they legalize, but they're not going to, they're pulling the Thailand.
They're doing like California, so you can get a medical license easy peasy, and then just go to a medical.
Yeah, but they're not putting any sales in, right? They legalize recreational. They're not going to legalize recreational sales.
Everyone's got their own shit, right? Because like
I know it's easy to get it in Virginia.
When we went to Canada, they just recently flip flopped on edibles, so you can only get flour. Remember when we went? Yeah. Like they had because everyone got too fucking wonky on edibles in Canada, so they'd like flip flop on that. And then there's like each state has their own little thing.
Yeah, there's only a few that have actually done it well. I luckily live in one of them that's done it really well. But yeah, lots of people fuck up their cannabis legislation, including Thailand, to a massive degree, where they basically are just now like a Canadian and US run like a weed kiosk where they get none of the money.
Maybe if we had a few pot shops in Texas, people would stop running over everyone and shooting them down. I mean, maybe we could
at least give you tax
weed, get some weed in Texas. Yeah, get that tax money and calm people down. Yeah,
I really got to stay off Twitter because I'm just.
You been getting in fights with people?
No, I just look for this disgusting.
Oh yeah, I heard the show. What was the one you wouldn't even talk about? Was it?
Dude, you don't
like
even know.
A dead kid.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then I heard
stop looking at that shit.
The ages are even worse than we talked about yesterday. It's bad.
The video from the running over is very disturbing as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, stop watching that shit.
I know. I just can't stop. Okay, let's move on. Something a little bit more fun, I guess.
We're not going to watch the videos, are we?
No.
Okay.
Guys, often it doesn't pay to be fat. We know that. One of the only times it pays to be fat is if you're being served by another fat guy. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I have noticed it.
Oh, you got like an extra scoop?
Yeah. It's like an unspoken code.
Yeah, like a Chipotle.
It's Chipotle, or if I'm at a wedding.
Oh yeah.
And the guy's doing. I always get a little extra something because he looks
at
me.
Buffet lines.
You'll be back, so might as well just skip the whole thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get you one.
Right. Yeah. I know you're gonna ask for extra rice, so let's just skip that. I'm gonna give you your extra rice right ahead, and then you'll be happy.
Rubs his belly or like looks like gives you a fat guy like wave.
Yeah. Exactly.
Buffet line is
how I'd want it.
That's where your fatness comes in the biggest.
Absolutely.
Right. Or like
it's like house cup. You're like a VIP.
Yeah. Or when you were a kid, like remember when the ball would get stuck in like a tree or something, they never picked you to go get the ball.
You don't have to climb.
You don't have to climb anything. That was usually your cue. The ball gets stuck in the tree. That's when you get to go. You just get to slink off and go back home for a snack.
Yeah, you go home.
Yeah, you go home.
No, what I would do is I would pretend like I was trying to practice pull-ups, knowing damn well I wasn't going to be able to do one. Just like on the branch, Oh
yeah, and then they resent you, like because if you stick around after that, then they realize what is this kid good for? He can't climb. Then they start picking on you. You got to go. You got to go when the ball gets stuck.
That's when you
if they draw attention to how worthless you are because you're.
If you do that, that's when you get aggressive, Wes. Yeah. Or at least that's what that was.
You also have to have a bunch of balls at your house, so you go home and get a snack and just bring a new ball.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can say
that's the move. But hey, I got a new ball.
Once you're in that AC drinking a Pepsi, there's no.
Yeah, you're not coming back.
So, but today, a former man named Darren Giles, who is now Rachel Giles, there they are, was saved from a very serious charge just because Rachel is a very fat transgender person, as you can see in the picture. Pretty fat, right? Now, you see, the YMCA...
it's fat instead of it's Pat from SNL.
Yeah, right, yeah. I mean, that's a fat person.
Yeah.
The YMCA in, I don't know how to say this, Xenia, Ohio, Xenia, Xenia, Ohio, knowing that Rachel used to be Darren and hadn't yet had a gender reassignment surgery, a.k.a. Rachel still had a cock, allowed Rachel to use the women's facilities, namely the locker rooms. In fact, after doing some research, it seems that the YMCA policy across the board in states other than, like, say, Kansas, which just passed the first law banning such access, allows you to use the women's locker room if you identify as a woman, even though you may technically still have a penis. So
really?
That's just YMCA policy. Yeah.
What if you're like the guy in the did you do the guy in the poker tournament?
Right.
On Florida Man Friday. What if you look like that and you have like a handlebar mustache?
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like Dave obviously was, and then he declared himself a man after winning. Like that was
rolling into the women's restroom looking like that, looking like one of us or Dave would just be something else.
Well, I mean, this isn't much different. Look, that's not much different. He's got this person. She has long hair, but she's it's not.
What does Rachel go by?
It's Rachel. She used to be Darren. Now she's Rachel.
Okay. Rachel kind of looks like a horny nerd.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And she is a horny nerd.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
let me get in that locker room.
There's Rachel, a transgender woman walking around the women's locker room naked. And from the Daily Mail article, Rachel, who's 31, she's already had several complaints made against her dating back to 2021, with at least 3 people complaining that they saw a, quote, naked male in the female locker room.
Yeah, is Rachel doing any working out before the locker room or just going straight to the locker room?
No, I think she joined YMCA for the locker room.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Right.
So we get like 30 minutes on the bike, or is it just straight to the locker room?
It's the locker room.
It's the locker room. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the locker room.
And also, how much time is Rachel spending in the locker room? How much nude time are we talking in the locker room?
Too much time.
Because you know what? Even in your own, the
whole time,
whatever. Even any of the gym locker rooms. I don't want to start saying stuff, but even you don't want to linger nude forever. Those people make everybody uncomfortable.
Correct.
So, like, you just want to get done with your business, especially if it's like a YMCA type, where it's like, it's not even an expensive.
Unless you've watched Porky's or Meatballs too many times, and you're like, maybe I should get in that locker room.
The only people who linger typically are people who are going to get complaints or get shit, Okay.
Yeah. So
was Rachel getting erections? Because that's the real sign.
Well, probably later at home. But one of the complaints, this is where Rachel ran into the trouble, stated there were 3 juveniles present during one of the incidents, with a woman going to the front desk to report, quote, "Yeah, I was just in the locker room and there's a person with, tits and a penis walking around naked in there." So, that's a little weird. It's just
flopping right in the middle of the women's.
And she reassured this person that
she wasn't sweaty because she didn't work out.
Right. Yeah.
Straight to the locker room.
But they said, hey, look, Rachel's a woman.
Bone dry.
So,
bone dry.
Really
no reason to be naked.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, you got to, if you're taking a shower, you got to be naked, right? Yeah. So, she shouldn't have a problem with this whole thing. Sorry. We're our hands are tied because the executives already made the decision that she's allowed in the locker room. Came all the way from the top. But I guess because there were juveniles present, Rachel was charged with 3 counts of indecent exposure, because while you can be a person with a penis in the women's locker room at the YMCA, I guess you can't be a woman with a penis and show that penis to minors. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense, no.
So, I mean, if you're allowed to be in there, you're allowed to be in there.
All right, fair enough.
Right.
You got me.
So the case went to the court.
Yeah,
and guess what?
Flopping dong in the women's. I think
in this particular situation, Rachel is not working out.
As soon as somebody hung dong in the women's, there was going to be a rule made. That's just the fucking facts. That was the cold hard facts on this one.
As
soon as the dong got hung in the women's openly, rules were going to be made.
Well, complaints were made, but rules were not made. That's
we should totally.
Rachel's still in there hanging dong.
You know what?
Hang dong in the YMCA.
We should have a voting system, and we should just base it on looks. Like, for example, if Caden decided to become a man for a day, she's allowed in the locker room.
Right? How come that never happens?
Yeah,
that never happens, dude. It's the other way around.
Right?
How come that never happens?
How come that doesn't happen? So that wouldn't be many complaints.
Right. So anyway, long story short,
there's plenty of people who have transitioned from woman to man that probably go to the men's locker room, but probably not as many that are like hanging. They're not
hanging tit.
They're like showing
some blondes.
They're not
unless they have like
tit.
a new big fake cock. They're probably hanging that.
The tits are gone and they're not hanging them.
How many former playmates are we talking? 0?
Yeah. 0.0.
Yeah.
0.0.
But isn't this why a lot of the locker rooms are getting like?
This is why Kansas passed the law.
So this is why. Look, when me and Jack Severt agree, live YouTube commenter Jack Severt, and he says loitering in the locker room should have always been a crime. Hey, look, That's a 100%, buddy. And
He
so
has
me and Jack
similar-
agree
yeah.
that means that's a slam dunk.
He has a
should be
similar
happening.
experience to me. I used to work at our local gym by your house, Willer, like in downtown Herndon. What's it called?
The World Gate.
Yeah, and
remember Batista used to work out there.
Yeah, it was a nice gym, but old
Drax the
dudes,
Destroyer from Guardians.
They had a steam room and they had a pool, and old dudes would like read the paper naked, hanging dongs for like an hour. They'd just be in there for an hour hanging dong. I'm like working. I'm like, sir.
Yeah, at expensive clubs, people just loiter. That's
you're
just
reading the
what
paper
happens.
upside down, sir.
They would read the fucking whole Washington Post just sitting there nude in the hot tub.
Yeah.
In the hot tub, and then they'd like stand up and get back in. They're just with their old balls right in your face.
They're
and then
pulling a Rachel. They weren't even working out. They were just there naked.
There was one huge Middle Eastern gentleman, right, who would go into the steam room and just slap himself, right?
And,
He would just walk around.
Yeah. I would get calls to go like calm him down, and the only way to calm him down, was with like more steam. So you'd have to get you had to do this like a legal steam situation where you filled up a bag of water,
steam again,
and you pour water slowly into the steam machine to it's like what's it called, like getting the governor off of a golf cart, and you just steam the place up, and that was the only thing that would calm this dude down. Is like rigging the steam room.
Yeah, and guys like hang dong in there, and then their dongs hanging on the tile, and then you come in and you sit. Right where their dong was.
It's
touching.
like an imprint of balls and dong. You can see it on the wood when it gets
watching their package just sit there on the sweaty surface,
and then you sit down.
A water dong shadow.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. So, Rachel went to court. She was charged with indecent exposure, 3 counts because of the 3 minors, and guess what? She won. She was, according to the judge, this guy, Judge David McNames, here he is, not only because Rachel was given authorization to be in the locker room and swing her wang around if she chose, but also it was found that even if Rachel was naked in the women's locker room swinging around what Darren gave her, the judge said, quite simply, the facts do not exist to support find a guilt as charges because Rachel's genitalia was not visible as a result of other portions of her body covering them.
Fupa? Saved by Fupa?
Saved by Fupa.
No chance.
No way, dude.
They said these people are lying. No way you can see this person's penis.
I was with the first part of the ruling.
Oh my god, you'd almost want to be. This is worse. You'd almost want to be found guilty. Having to sit through this hearing.
You would.
This is
you
the
would
most
rather be guilty.
Reading of all time.
Yeah. Unless she's pulling up her fupa and showing penises running around.
I'll take the guilty charge. I'm guilty, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Is the judge low key doing this to shame Rachel?
I mean, it's embarrassing.
I mean, but she's not going to jail for like showing minors.
That's true,
her penis.
but now she's.
You think
guilty.
Rachel gives a fuck about her fupa? No, I don't think so. I think Rachel doesn't give a fuck about much.
I mean, it's tough. That's a tough verdict to hear.
Yeah.
That's rock bottom, dude. That's rock bottom.
You're getting off, and let me explain why.
Yeah.
Dude, that's worse.
Please don't
demonstrate. Miss Giles, please remove your pants and show everyone that we
look
clearly can't see your
see
penis.
You can't see anything. It's just a wrinkled mass of fat.
Yeah. Did her lawyer, my cousin Vinny, it?
The lawyers were the ones that were promoting this whole thing. They came with a brilliant idea. Like, there's no way they can see your penis, right, Rachel? Because you're too fat. And she's like, yeah, that's right. And the judge agreed.
Wow.
So
photo evidence.
Yeah, but
it's like a fat Ken doll.
Yeah,
like a fat Barbie doll, no genitals.
This Rachel though is no saint. There's apparently an employee.
She had multiple complaints, right?
The employee testified at the trial that she had a restraining order against Giles because she assaulted her. She said they went to grab some coffee and Rachel grabbed her genitals, and then she started going to the work where this person, like the YMCA, I guess, where this person works. So she had to get a restraining order on her. So this person is a little bit of a creep, let's say.
So Rachel still can't go to the YMCA because of the restraining order again.
This is what I'm
Not
saying.
that particular YMCA, but I guess
she can go hang dong and otherwise.
If Rachel was working out and then went into the locker room for the right amount of time and was walking upright normally, probably don't see much genitalia. But that's not what Rachel's like putting a leg up on the bench.
Right. If you pull
in
it
those positions,
Rachel's just getting it out there.
Look, she can show you her penis if she wants to.
Well, that's what it sounds like. She's a big loiterer. Yeah.
I could show you if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So
I'll hide it now.
I'm all for trans rights, but this one's a little sus on Rachel's part.
Little sus on
right,
Rachel's
because
part.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, and also Rachel's assaulting women, right? So that's a or being accused of assaulting women. So that's that's
Rachel's
that's not good.
Rachel's not. I don't think Rachel's in it for the right reasons.
Her heart's not in it. Doesn't seem.
Yeah,
seems like it might be
more
of a scheme situation.
We don't know Rachel, so we're making assumptions based off of the fact that Rachel just kind of grew her hair out and looks like a gamer.
Based on the accusation,
chopped the cock off yet.
But
yeah. And then one comment from the internet, Little Cactus says, "Wait a sec, just how many women have a penis?" So
I do it a lot these days. Little Cactus, watch out.
Yeah,
there was a funny what was the sports thing? Something about like it was a chart on women with testicles in sports.
Oh right, because it's an exponential curve. Yeah,
it's mean to pick on trans people. I get it. But this is a one-off on Rachel.
This is a weird one. I don't think that. I mean,
it is a weird one, man.
You shouldn't be allowed
we're
to
not picking on trans people in general. We're talking about Rachel.
Yeah, this is case by case.
Person.
Yeah.
Listen,
like that.
Adolescents shouldn't be seeing penis in their minors shouldn't be seeing penis in the locker room at a YMCA.
They aren't unless Rachel does a lunge.
Listen, I think they saw Rachel's
which
penis.
She could.
Yeah,
she wanted.
They aren't until Rachel starts getting angles because
yeah.
She looks like the Michelin Marshmallow Man.
Got to warm up for my squats in here. Here comes the fruit basket. Russian deadlifts.
Anyway, saved by the fat. There's one there. We're being fat saved there.
That is one where, again, the verdict is tough. You're happy with the result, but are you?
Yeah. No, it's a weird one. And that's it. We got anything else? Any live?
You were right, Wes. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't. Yeah.
No, you were right. Yeah. You nailed it.
There are no rules against pedos. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, let's pull up the wheel.
Well, Eric down in here with a great call, especially if working out, the smells coming from Rachel. Yeah.
Oh well, you got to imagine pull the pic back up, Wes, because she doesn't. Well, no. Let me just see how many layers of shirts. Okay, probably so. A lot of times I've noticed that you can basically tell how much somebody doesn't shower based on how many layers of clothes they wear, because they wear more layers of clothes to try to
hide the stink.
Black jeans also a pretty big
black
giveaway
jeans.
too.
Those jeans have been on for 3 weeks.
Jeans
a lot of
giveaway.
Those jeans have been on for 3 weeks and they're stained.
A lot of layers of clothes. So you got to think about
black jeans and wears them regularly.
And polo and green. These are colors that don't show a lot of stainage.
Right.
And
sets of long johns beneath those black jeans. You know.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, probably Eric's right.
Yeah,
it's got some stank on it.
All right, well, let's pull up the wheel to see who's going to the coffee.
Ooh, another razor. Whoa.
It'll be me on the coffee.
When it gets to the line, I think it bumps it over like yesterday. It's just
it gets close.
When it hits the line, it bumps over. Line goes to the next guy.
Yeah, line does go to the next guy. It's true.
Yeah,
it's the opposite of baseball.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Sorry, Tiller.
Yeah.
Wait, here you go, Tiller.
Yeah, Tiller, that's tough.
Wait, show the boobs again.
Yeah,
I'm watching the live show.
I'm showing the tits.
Yeah,
there you go.
There you go, Tiller.
That's now that's a fancy.
Now you can enjoy dinner.
Remember, we told you about InstaBreast, everyone. I mean, that's probably heard that from us. So
that's right.
Do us a favor and spread the word about Hard Factor.
Right? Yeah, InstaBreast.
Yeah,
you did your favorite.
InstaBreast. Yeah.
Spread the word about.
Also, well, don't commit crimes, but you did learn that the basics of weed dealing.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yep. And to stay away from YMCA. And also to support our sponsor, Shady Rays and Bird Dogs, and to spread the word about the podcast, store.hardfactor.com. If you want to, buy some merch, there's nothing new in there, but it still exists. And
only the best designs, because everything's been vaulted. Yeah. But you'd have to beg Wes for something back.
Listen, summer's about to come. Get a tank top. Get a hat. Save your bald head from the sun. That's what you got working. Help the show. That's what I mean to say is help the show. Help us. Please, God, help us.
Need one. I'm in a tough spell over here.
Yeah, Mark needs to pay for two months rent coming up.
I'm about to declare for bankruptcy over here. I'm gonna have to sell the car.
First and last Mark over here.
All
right. We love you. Have a great fucking day.